represented by this first poem, On First Holding My Grandson. Wrapped in his blanket, with just his head revealed, an ovoid still elongated from its journey, and covered, at least for now, with long dark hair. He lay quietly, with small tremors of breath and potential, sleeping before the insistent yelp. There was a weight to him, more than his 7 pounds, 14 ounces, of history's mingle, hope and promise, and my joy. The next poem is entitled Baby Bellies. I wrote this for my pregnant daughter a couple months ago. 30 years ago, it was your baby belly that I tickled with my nose and blew rude noises in to your peals of laughter and then bright eyes of anticipation when I stopped for the first time, or second, or third. Now you have a baby belly swollen with pride and promise, and I know that I had better soften up my nose and practice trumpeting rude noises on my arm in my own bright-eyed anticipation of a return performance on a new venue. So this is a little bit of a repeat for some of you. First years may know that my father was one of the donors in the anatomy lab last year, and I read these 2 poems at the memorial service. I thought I would share again. Select company. My father was a friendly man, always ready to smile at a stranger and strike up a conversation. So it must have been a little frustrating, what with all the new people he has met this year, that he could no longer talk or smile or do much of anything, but just lie there and be himself, at least his physical presence. He joined this silent company of those who chose to teach after death, who left earthly modesty behind, and were willing to reveal everything on the outside, and even deep within, to those eager to see and learn. First birthday. It is Dad's birthday, but I will not give the usual socks and card and candy bar. I will not visit him or even call. He cannot answer. I can talk here to him, tell him of my year, the first without him. The winter was cold and the summer hot. But the kids are fine, and I am too, though I sit sometimes, like this, remember. My father suffered from dementia in his last year or so, and this poem, written a year and a half or so before his death, shows some of the tinge of that. Fresh snowfall. A fresh snowfall covers the far field, a white expanse, featureless, devoid of landmark. But if you ventured in, you could always turn around and follow your footsteps out. There is fresh snow on my father's mind, obscuring the tracks of his long life. New steps, especially, are quickly covered, as though a blizzard follows him. I see him pause in some confusion, searching for a word, a thought, a lost step in the snow. Next poem is called Saving Grace, also about my father and a way in which we are related, besides genetically. I am like my father, a good fellow, but with piles of papers in too many places, covering horizontal surfaces. But if you can stand that, quite a good fellow indeed. Of course, now my father's papers also cover up wayward pills that have escaped from breakfast, or was it dinner, last night, or last week? So it is time to clear his table. But papers are sticky to the two of us. Metaphorically, I mean, hard to release, to say farewell to, though we both believe wholeheartedly wholeheartedly in recycling, at least in history, in theory. Well, maybe after a lag of a week or a month or whatever. For we might get around to reading that newspaper or that article whose title caught our eye once. Or we might need to refer to that note or announcement sometime. And if it's gone, it's gone. So you see the problem. I'd better have my brother do this. My brother also lives in the Boston area. He did it. Last fall, we visited some close friends in Pennsylvania who have had quite a long series of cats. We've known them for more than a dozen years, the friends, not necessarily all the cats. And one who used to be the young one was now the old one, and it was sort of toward the end of his life, and rather than bouncing around, he was just kind of lying there and not in such good shape. And my wife is a Reiki practitioner, and thought, well, maybe this would help him a little bit. And sure enough, he just kind of leaned into her. Then we heard a couple weeks later that he had died. So I wrote this poem and sent it to my friend. The cat's name was Orion. So the poem is entitled Orion's Flight. Oh, cat who used to jump so high at dust motes hanging in the sky, how can you now so calmly lie down here without complaint or cry? Your body shrunk, your food passed by, knowing you will shortly die. Ah, yes, but next time I will be a bird and truly fly. This friend who